Have you ever heard the expression, the customer is always right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, here I am, the customer.
That's not our policy.
He must be economically viable. There's a man with a smile on his face. He looks like a happy customer. That's what an economically viable person looks like. I'm going home! Clear a path, you motherfucker! Clear a path! I'm going home!
When this film came out, all I remember, because obviously Basic Instinct came out and you had all the 92, I think this Falling Down came in 93. You know, you had T2, Basic Instinct, you had all these films. I just remember this, it just came out of nowhere, this film. I always remember, you know, the image with him in the suitcase, always the back of the magazines, and he's just standing there with his shirt and black tie.
Yeah,
I see, always intrigued me. I thought, blimey, Falling Down, what's this about? Michael Douglas. I just think if you watch it, if you think the year's 1993 and you watch it now, and the year's 2025, it's a lot of similarities to now. So, you know, he's got an issue with, you know, inflation, immigration, people coming to the country, they can't speak his own language. He's pissed off with life, everything's changing around him. It mirrors what's going on in today's society. You know, he wants his old life back. He wants America to be the way it used to be. And that's, you don't agree?
Yes, but
the world's changed and he doesn't like it.
He's almost like a character. When you look at the way he's dressed and everything, he's very old school. He looks like he's from the 50s, from those ideals, because he worked for defence, didn't he? Building missiles.
Yeah.
And then he got let go. And he's almost correlating his whole thing of being let go from his job in defence to immigration in a way. Because he's almost tying the two together. He's lost his job. He's now not making the missiles to defend the country. And now there are people like the Korean chap who are now in the country, doesn't speak the language. And all these things, it's sort of ticking boxes for him as to what he's felt like since he got fired.
Well, that's what he said in the shop, didn't he? You know, when he said we're going to roll back the prices and he started smashing stuff with his baseball bat. He said, let's roll back the price. I think he mentioned the previous year, didn't he? He said, we're going to roll back the prices.
Rolling back prices to 1965. What do you think of that? Donuts. Package of 6, how much?
$1.12.
Oh! Too much.
Because he's pissed off.
He runs through the list, doesn't he?
Yeah.
How much. I think he starts on the donuts first. Which
Yeah. I mean, it's still 85 cents in today's money. It's quite cheap for a can of Coke. All right, let's go back to the start of the film, right? You know when he's in the car?
Yeah, it's important to get context.
Yeah, but that's what I'm... The start. But I'm saying...
And the reasons as to why he's...
Exactly, but if you're watching a film, you think, he's having a breakdown at the beginning, right? He's just... Everything's going on. Yeah. But the way the film goes on, it basically saying that he was already gone before that start. But it just triggered him because... The way the wife spoke to him about him before and the mum.
Yeah, things have begun to unravel since losing his job.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was a breaking point at the start of the film.
Which is a big acceleration because it is only a month, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you think, obviously he's still going to work because he lives with his mum at this point, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Because his marriage has broken down.
Yeah, okay, I understand what you're saying, but if you actually, do you know when I know we're jumping the gun a bit, but I have to say this.
We love doing that.
Yeah, but I have to say this to go back to the beginning. When he's watching home videos before he goes to the pier, you know when he's watching home videos, and you can see his anger's coming through. Do you remember when he's trying to put the kid on the horse?
Horsey, damn it, just take her and put her on the horse. There we go. Horsey ride. Giddy up. Giddy up. Put her on the horse.
She's not supposed to. I mean, you can't force her like that.
I bought her the goddamn horse. There we go. Horsey ride.
Yeah.
He's starting to go a bit funny because then the wife's
He snaps at her,
expression
doesn't
starts to go a bit funny. So obviously he's starting to unravel years before.
He's almost like the bad guy. But the first few times I watched it, being younger and everything, they sort of play him, well, to me then, sympathetic, and you kind of sort of relate to him and think, well, yeah, I get that. Like they drop in things like the street being
Do you feel that now?
ripped up. No, I felt differently watching it this time.
So you don't feel sympathy for him, his character.
I thought I saw more of the darkness in him this time round.
Tell me what part of the film you think's dark. That
There's a progression throughout the film where he starts in his shirt and tie, and he's just a man you think he's having a terrible day. You know, he's not going anywhere because he hasn't got a job to go to. So where he was going at the time, don't know. It's his daughter's birthday, crucially.
that's where he's going. See his daughter.
Yeah, but at the time you don't know that. He's just in traffic. So
Yeah.
it's built really well because you don't actually know why he's there, where he's going, what's happening with him. And so it does explain that as you go through the whole film. Well, I think. It doesn't kind of jump around. Everything starts to slot into place. And as that happens, he loses the shirt and tie. He then ends up getting the military outfit.
I think that's to change disguise though, because the police were after him.
Yeah, but it's almost like his personality is changing as it goes through with it.
What do you reckon? To me, like one of my favourite scenes is when he goes into the burger shop.
That's everybody's favourite scene.
That is funny.
That's actually not my favourite scene.
But that is quite true. Like when I originally watched that, you think that's what McDonald's Big
this
Mac
is where
looks like.
they drop the sort of satire bits in, don't they?
Yeah.
There's two bits that stood out for me when I first watched it. One is the golf cart. Immediately,
That's brilliant.
That's a big one for me.
Yeah.
Pills? Where are your pills? Well, I guess you're out of luck, aren't you? Your little cart's going to drown. Now, aren't you sorry you didn't let me pass through your golf course?
Golf.
Yeah. And now you're going to die wearing that stupid little hat. How does it feel?
What about with the Latinos? And he shoots him in the calf, and he goes, "Learn how to shoot, asshole." It's brilliant.
But yeah, there's quite a few so that satirical kind of thing there where he's lost sympathy really. They could have just let him walk by and he would have just gone through. But instead they attack him. And it kind of goes with that theme of him being attacked this whole way through. Hence he becomes harder, less sympathetic, and his actions then increase on that.
Yeah, but if you look at the film, don't you think the film is a lot about inequality? So basically, with the black guy who's saying, he's standing outside a bank and he's not economically viable.
That's my other favourite part.
Inequality, and then when he's walking through the park, lots of homeless people, and they show the homeless guy. Everyone's trying to con each other out of money. And then with the rich guy in the golf course, it's like you said, kids should be playing here. Like these rich people got this massive golf course. All he's trying to do is walk through. It's about the world leaving a man behind, basically. That's what I think the film's about.
That's a good way to explain it. That's a good way to explain it. Yeah.
And a lot of people in that boat now.
Not just him, though, being left behind.
Yeah, a lot of people. And you got Robert Duvall's story, which is, it's a good backstory. It's not all about Michael Douglas.
They're almost kind of... Well, they got their parallels. They've both got their morals. The only difference is Prendergast.
Prendergast, yeah.
Prendergast. He stays on the right side of the law. That's in Heat, mate. It's almost like the De Niro, Pacino.
Yeah.
A little bit like that.
Yeah.
That dynamic is quite close, I think.
Does he drink?
Oh, I thought you meant the judge. No, I wouldn't say so.
Do drugs?
Oh, no.
But he has a propensity for violence.
Yeah, I think you could say that.
Did he strike the little girl?
Well, no,
Did he strike you?
not exactly.
Not exactly.
There were times when I thought he was going to, but I just didn't want to wait until he got around to it, kind of thing. to explain.
Mm-hmm.
He could, I think.
You think?
He's just a dad that wants to see his kid. I know he wants his whole life back, and that's a bit too much.
He
but
wants his family back.
yeah,
He even says so.
yeah.
Why'd you do that?
There's something I want to show you. Come on, I'm not gonna turn you in. I'm your friend. Come on.
But that guy did deserve it, though, that army guy. I mean, he's a Nazi, wasn't he?
Yeah, dangerous.
So, yeah. I like it when he goes, hey, man, me and you are the same.
I'm with you. We're the same, you and me. We're the same, don't you see?
We are not the same. I'm an American. You're a sick asshole.
He's totally misread him.
Yeah.
'Cause he's not.
Obviously, he wouldn't, like, start shooting up a burger joint, but you can, like, you know, the frustration, like, you can, every part of that, you can sense his frustration, you know, with the
But
shit
even then it
burger.
goes off, and even he panics
Yeah.
when it goes off in there, the gun.
A's and B's and...
No, it's an accident! It's an accident! It's an accident! The trigger, it's sensitive. It's okay. It's all right. It's a sensitive trigger.
He's only going to hurt the people that want to hurt him, right? Like the army guy and the Latino gang.
Yeah, because he,
Yeah.
like you say, with the guy who gets taken away in the cop car
Yeah.
for protesting.
Don't forget me.
I think that's one of, powerful moment of
the
film, yeah. Yeah.
Because it's not about race, and I think a lot of people could probably think that he's a racist geezer,
Yeah.
but I don't think that's the case.
Yeah. Because, you know, he got...
Not particular. I mean, that's where it's a bit of a grey area with him, though. That maybe, I don't know, the Korean guy, maybe if he'd have tried, he was making an effort, didn't want to just piss him off immediately, which he did. It's winding him up, isn't it? And that's what he's seeing it as he's being lazy and just... But maybe the Korean guy has just had a shit day as well. He can't be asked. He's really hot. He's maybe made no money whatsoever that day. And this is the first customer he's had. Who knows? And he's just like, oh, fucking whatever, mate. And everyone has a bad day. He doesn't know what that bloke's day's been like before he's turned up in his shop, does he?
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
The world has always been.
And that's
like
what
that.
Robert
It's not
Duvall...
a new
Yeah, but that's
thing.
what Robert Duvall says, doesn't he? He said, guess what? Everyone lies to everyone. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
That's what he says.
Yeah, he's right.
Just, yeah.
He's right.
You can understand both sides.
But he's smart enough to know that he, as one man, doesn't have enough power to change that. But he can change things in his own little world, in his day-to-day life, which is why he decides to still be a cop at the end of it, because he's supposed to retire. We should mention that. It's his retirement day. But he decides that maybe his actions do make a difference to somebody else's world, i.e. his wife and child. Because if he hadn't have been there that day, hadn't decided to pursue him, quite possibly they wouldn't be alive at the end of it.
Do you know what would have been good? If this would have been a good ending, when she said to him, "You need help," right? If he went to her, do you know what? I do need help. I'm going to get help, and I'm sorry. And then Robert Duvall came in, and then you would have had the ending, because then you could have thought, okay, he's realised he needs help, and he was willing to, and that would have been the ending. He would have said, "Oh, I'm going to get help," blah blah blah. But then,
That'd be a shit
it
ending.
wouldn't be a shit ending, because
It would.
because the same ending would have happened. He would have been shot by Robert Duvall, and the same ending would have happened, because Robert Duvall wouldn't have acknowledged that. It still would have happened. No, Vince, trust me, that would have been better. It would have been better. You're just a morbid pundit that just want. You just like these morbid endings. I want a bit of hope.
I like it's left to the audience to decide.
Well, that's
what I like.
That is my decision.
Okay. No, you're trying to change the script.
No, I just think like the guy's misunderstood, in my opinion.
Doesn't give him the right to go around shooting people.
Well, he shot a Latino guy who's a gang member. No, I'm not saying he shot him because he's Latino.
No,
I said
but
he
yeah.
shot because he's in a gang.
That's
Yeah.
self-defense.
Yeah, exactly.
And plus, he doesn't.
Well, technically,
kill
it's
him.
not self-defense because the guy was unarmed and he was
If he didn't
injured.
kill him, shot him in the leg, so that he wouldn't come after him,
Yeah,
which I think's fair. He's not going to die from that, I imagine.
we could get a blood infection.
There. See? That's the concept. Take some shooting lessons, asshole.
I just think Michael Douglas, that's one of his most. I think that's one of his best performances. I think it's
Yes.
underrated.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
completely,
And do you remember, it came after Basic Instinct, right? Because everyone had
Yeah.
a Fatal Attraction, Basic Instinct. Everyone had a perception of him. I know you had Wall Street before, but I just think he was so different in it with his haircut and the glasses. I just you watch it, it's a very good performance. Very
it
good.
is, yeah, it is good. It is good. Yeah, go and see it if you haven't. Go and get it.
Download it.
I'd say DVD, but that's Two Men Left Behind again, in it?
I'm the bad guy?
Yeah.
How'd that happen?